Okay. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. A very good evening to everyone who's joined in for my session. So I am Dasun Theekshana, and I am a Alpha Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and I'm also a associate AI and ML engineer, and also a fourth year student at data science student at SLIIT. So in this session, I will be talking about Azure's AI services, and I'll be giving a brief introduction into the AI services brought to you by Azure, and I'll be going through a little bit of a demo on some of the services. All right. So to start off, let's talk a little bit about what are Azure AI services. To begin with, let's talk a little bit about what AI is specifically. So everyone who's joined in, I'm probably sure everyone knows what AI is. So it's everywhere you look nowadays. Whether it's Instagram, social media, LinkedIn, news, websites, it's everywhere where you look. It has become basically a buzzword, and rightfully so as well, because it has a very a transformative capability, and it's basically the next big thing in when it comes to technology. It's pretty much the same as what computers were in the 50s, and what internet was back in 90s. So it's the next big step in the technology. I think that's best way to put it. So and given the transformative capabilities of AI, artificial intelligence, every organization, every product, every service is trying to get hold of AI and integrate them into your products and services, and everyone is scrambling to do that. But one of the things, and lot of these services and people don't realize is that implementing AI for your solutions, your custom use cases, might not be as straightforward tasks as they seem to be, like as portrayed in uh, everywhere. It takes a lot of expertise, and most of, if you are data science students, you might know AI includes a lot of complex mathematics and machine learning models, and a lot of basically data science and machine learning expertise. And also, apart from the expertise side, there needs to be a certain level of overhead, like costs associated with deploying models. If you have worked through machine learning models, you know that you have to deploy it and maintain it, and take care of security structures and all that, security of the data and all that. And this is pretty much an overhead. So if an organization is looking to integrate that AI capabilities into the applications, having this kind of overhead might mean that they have to spend a lot of time and energy, and their time to market might be really long. And so that is where Microsoft Azure comes in. So what they have done is they've come up with a set of cloud-based, pre-built and customizable artificial intelligence services, tools and APIs and models. So basically what that allows you to do is, you if you're familiar with cloud, so you don't have, it's fully managed, so you don't have to worry about that overhead with deploying a model and all that. And also, if you and as I mentioned earlier, AI and ML needs a certain level of expertise to be implemented. There's a lot of, it needs to be a lot of machine learning engineers, data scientists in very specific fields in order to implement, for example, if you take natural language processing, there needs to be a certain niche special engineers for that. But with the use of Azure AI services, what we do is, uh, you don't have to be very experienced, very like experts in this field. If you are a developer with basic programming skills, and if you can call REST, if you know about APIs, if you can, I hope everyone who's joined in knows about REST APIs. If you can't call a REST API from then you're basically good to go. You can directly call an API and integrate your and get those AI functionalities into your applications. So basically, it's market ready and cutting edge. You get the best models out there without the need to worry about all the deploying and security and all that. And that's what makes Azure AI stand out. Right. Talking about the service portfolio of Azure AI services, there is a huge amount of services. So this is actually this categorization as of 2023. Microsoft has kind of moved out of this particular categorization as you see on the screen. But I think this is the best way to categorize and visualize how Azure AI services are categorized, and it's basically very easy to understand in this format. So first of all, you have Azure Applied AI Services. So these are a set of services that are like pre-built AI services which are designed to solve very specific business problems that are coming up when you're talking about different businesses and different services and different products. And so these services doesn't require deep expertise in these fields, and you can easily integrate this into those business processes, and it aims, so basic aim is to reduce the cost and time associated with training and maintaining models, and in most cases these models are customizable for these specific use cases. And then you have Azure Cognitive Services. So what cognitive service offers is a range of artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities designed to deliver human-like intelligence. So as you not know, like cognition is, human capability of reasoning, acquiring, and perceiving, understanding. So what Azure Cognitive Services does is the Microsoft AI cognition is it delivers like human-like intelligence through these services. So these are like language vision decision, like categorization of multiple services. And then you have Azure Machine Learning. So this is like the machine learning as a service platform, or we can call it service provided by Azure for like easy building of machine learning models. Right. So in this particular session, since in the last previous session, we were talking about Azure machine learning in Tech Talk series. We mostly talking about Azure Cognitive Services, and I'll be going into a little bit about Azure Applied AI Services as well. Right. Okay. Right. So first of all, we have the Azure Cognitive Services. So as I mentioned earlier, it delivers cognitive capabilities to your applications. So if you heard about cognition, cognition is like a fundamental aspect of human intelligence. So it's related to acquiring, processing, storing, and using information in our human brains. And it encompasses of a wide range of mental functions, such as that enable individuals to perceive, understand, remember, reason, learn, and make decisions. So what Azure aims to say with cognitive services is to like mimic these and have human-like intelligence features in their services, so they can reduce and reduce effort when it comes to different tasks in day-to-day life. And one more great feature of these cognitive services is it's the ability to customize the underlying AI ML models with your own data. So in most cases, general purpose machine learning models might not be very good for your purposes, what you aim to do. So in that case, Azure provides you the ability to customize the underlying AI models, so you can get the best out of them. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, services are divided into four main categories. We have vision. So that that involves a lot of computer vision and image processing capabilities stack of Azure AI services. And then you have speech, which is Azure AI's stack of speech recognition services. And then you have language, which is the natural language processing services associated with Azure AI. And then you have decision, which is decision making and knowledge mining services and tools of Azure AI. Right. So I'll be briefly talking about each of these categories and services associated with them. Right. First of all, we have Azure Cognitive Services Vision, the Vision category. So there are four main services under the Vision category of Azure Cognitive Services. First of all, you have the Optical Character Recognition Service, or OCR for short. So what basically OCR does is it extracts text from images such as posters, street signs, product labels. So all in all, it does is it can extract text from various type of images, and this is like something that you encounter every day in everyday life. So having the ability to automate the process of getting extracting text of images is a huge advantage. And what OCR capability, OCR service of Azure AI does is it uses deep learning based models, neural network architecture models that talks with various services, text of various services and backgrounds to and it able to extract those image information into natural text. And yeah, it uses so currently they use a state of the art OCR engine called the Read OCR engine, which leverages deep learning models. And so it can be used to extract business documents, invoices, receipts, business cards, letters, anything basically any image type text. Yeah, so this feature comes in with other Azure Applied AI services as well, such as document intelligence, formerly called form recognizer. So this individual services is kind of integrated with other services of the AI services stack. Right. And then you have Azure Image Analysis Service. So this service mainly deals with image processing tasks, such as extracting visual features from images, image classification, object detection in photos, faces, and also like generating captions when you're given a certain image. So this is the service that of Azure Stack that handles those kind of services. And then you have the face service, which is Azure's face recognition software, face recognition service or tool. So what that does is it provides highly capable machine learning algorithms that can detect and analyze and recognize faces. You can use it. You can and it recognize human faces in images. So if you get given an image, you can, if multiple people are there in image, you can train it to identify a particular person. And this is really important in many different scenarios, such as identity verification. You can use if you want to integrate face ID features into your applications, this might really come in handy. And also like touchless access control. In the COVID era, we were going into touchless based authentication methods, and this is something that can really come in handy in those kind of situations. And also like other instances like face blurring for like privacy reasons for creating content. So that is also possible by face service. And then you finally have spatial analysis service. So this is a service like to analyze the presence and movement of people on a like video feed. And what you can do with that is, and you can integrate with other systems to respond to these spatial features, as movement or presence or distance. And so this can be integrated in many different use cases, for example, to analyze distance between persons. So back in the COVID era, if you want to keep, we were, obsessed with, social distancing, keeping 1 meter apart. So you can integrate this spatial analysis service into your applications or video feed on your facility, and then you can track and monitor the that social distancing is maintained. Right. So let's go a little bit into each of the features. We'll visit the Azure AI Vision in the Azure website and see what they do. So you have the main feature, for main services of Azure AI Vision. So image analysis, it pulls more than 100,000 concepts and objects to classify, capture, and generate insights. And then you have spatial analysis, OCR, and facial recognition. So this is like one of the image analysis use cases. As you can see, when you're given a photo, we can classify objects and specify features of an image and create captions based on the image. And yeah. And then you can, once again, object detection. So we can give an image and detect the features in that object. And yeah, and caption generation, as you can see, when you're provided with a caption image, it automatically gives you a caption. And then you can blur backgrounds and in the photos of yours, and you can upload multiple photos, like a massive amount of photos and like random photos, and then you can query it based on the features in the in those photos. So for example, this is that one of those use cases. Yeah, so we'll vision with the Vision Studio. So this is so AI, Azure AI has this concept of vision, like AI studios. So for every AI speech and decision and language, they have these studios. So this is the Vision Studio for Azure AI. So as you can see, these are the 4 main categories of services for Azure AI Vision. And yeah, so we can see in OCR, you can see extract text from images, and the spatial analysis feature, as I talked about, we can see where it comes in handy. You can generate a brief summary of what has happened in a video feed, and then count people in an area of by a video in the video feed, and then detect people when they cross a line. It can be, and then also detect when people enter or exit a specified zone, and then monitoring social distance. Yeah, and then you have face feature, and then you have the image analysis, or the image recognition and classification feature. So in here we have features like recognizing products on shelves. We can use it for like convenience stores, market chains and chain stores and all that. And so as I mentioned, showed earlier, the search photos with image retrieval, and adding captions to images, remove backgrounds from images, detect common objects, extract common text from images, and detect sensitive content, and for like privacy purposes, you can detect them and blur them. Yeah, so that is the AI vision part of Azure Cognitive Services. So next up, we have the speech category of cognitive services. So this is mainly divided into 2 main categories. So speech to text and text to speech. So when it comes to speech to text, as the name suggests, what it can do is it can convert natural speech into synthesized text. So this speech to text has a couple of interesting features. So first of all, we can translate audio from more than 30 languages, which is really makes your applications more accessible to a wider audience. And also it can provide you can transcribe your videos and pre-recorded audios and in over 100 languages. Once again, it like boosts your accessibility on your application and products. And so not only on pre-recorded videos, we can also get transcriptions and captions and subtitles for your real time or live videos as well. This is really a really great feature. And then you have speaker recognition, so you can train it for to train the underlying models to pick up on a person's speech or speech patterns, and then identify the person from their voice, basically. So these can come in really handy when you're building AI assistants for your applications, or AI speech ID features into your applications. And yeah, and then you have intent recognition. So what it really means is so what intent recognition mean is like when you person says something, what do they actually mean, like to understand what they intend to do with that what they said. So best way to say to explain this is take something like Cortana or like voice assistant. So when we say like turn up the volume, so it's able to pick up on that and understand the intent, which is to turn up the volume and recognize it and then trigger a task. So this is intent recognition at work. So yeah, this is once again a really useful feature. And then you have text to speech, as the name suggests. It's able to convert natural text into synthesized speech. Um, yeah, so we can convert like input text. I can give it a text input, and you can convert it into human like synthesized speech. And one great feature is you can customize the voice of those speech by training in the underlying models with your own recordings on your own voice, which is a really great feature. And then also you can this is really come in handy when you're creating content creation, those kinds of tasks. And also this can be really helpful in creating voice assistants for if your application needs a voice assistant, you can use this service. Yeah, we'll head over to Azure AI speech as well and take a look. And yeah, so yeah, you have the convert speech to text, give your app a voice with AI assistant, like um, speech a speech assistant, and like translate speech in real time, verify recognize speakers, and you can generate activate generate like hook it up with your IoT devices to as verification step. You can create a custom keyword with your voice and use it to activate your IoT devices and other devices as well. It doesn't have to be IoT specifically. So and also add voice commands for hand-free scenarios. So for example, touchless voice first, like for especially in something like pandemic scenarios. Right. So we'll head over to Speech Studio as well, and see some of the features. Yeah, so this is Speech to text section of it. Yeah, this is the speech text section of it. And as you can see, you have real-time speech to text, and you have uh, uh, integration with Azure OpenAI, which I'll come to in a while. And you can batch process batch transcribe, transcribe document in batches, which is really great feature. And you have custom speech, add your own data and create synthesized speech from those. And then you have features like pronunciation assessment and speech translation. Get a recording and understand, translate that into your own native language, which is really helpful. And then you have text to speech. As you can see, you have voice gallery to choose from if you're making personalized assistants. And then custom voice feature and audio content creation. So if you are a content creator, instead of you creating on your own, like speaking, you can just give it a text and it will create synthesized speech for you. And then you have voice assistant feature, which is like can create custom keywords for authentication and custom commands to trigger a function or trigger a workflow in your applications. All right. Yeah. Right. So yeah, that's for speech section, speech category. And then you have the decision category of Azure Cognitive Services. So this consists of um, three main services. So first of all, you have the Azure Anomaly Detector. So this is a service to monitor and detect abnormalities in time series data. So I believe everyone who's joined in data science students. I think you have an idea about what time series data is. So it's basically series, data, patterns of data over time. So for example, you can say stocks or weather predictions where like humidity or temperature over time. And what anomaly detector lets you do is it allows you to monitor and detect abnormalities in time series data. And you can a great feature is you can use both univariate and multivariate features, which is like univariate as in you can only compare only one variable, or you can compare multiple time series variables over time and then monitor. And one of the ways that this comes in handy is, for example, take an instance where you have a facility where you have to like a production facility where you have to maintain a very specific temperature in order to produce the product. So in that case, you really have to keep an eye on the temperature, and you have IoT devices to keep track of temperature. And what this allows you to do is, if there is a drop or a fluctuation in temperature that might affect the production, you can set it up and trigger alarm or notifications to handle the situation. Right, and you have the content safety feature. So this contains both like text and image APIs, and as access to like advanced algorithms for processing images and text for like flagging content and detect harmful user generated and AI generated content. And flagging content which is basically can be potentially offensive or risky or undesirable for a particular community, and this can be used to flag content and remove those content. And then you have a personalizer, which is um, like a build customize a service to build personalized recommendations and user experience for the users of your applications. It's like it's a tool to use to make recommendation engines basically, and it uses reinforcement learning to implement that. So this can have multiple use cases. For example, e-commerce you can recommend your users what product should be shown to them and maximize the likelihood of a purchase. And content recommendation, content design, where should an advertisement be placed um, on your website, and also communication. Right. And then we have the language um, service or language category. So this is one of the more like robust features of Azure AI Services portfolio. So what So it contains a lot of use cases of natural language processing. For example, you have sentiment analysis feature. So sentiment analysis um, is is basically, analyzing, sentiments. You can give a text and identify whether it means it's an angry text or the emotion behind it. And you can use Azure AI language features to detect it. And then also like language detection and translation features is also integrated into Azure Language AI Services. And key phrase extraction features as there as well. And like name entity recognition, recognize specific. If you have a large corpus of text data, you have to find specific names or specific entities or object name of from that data source. You can use this entity recognition feature. And then you have also text analytics and text classification. And also finally you have text summarization. Yeah, so we'll go to this as well and take a look. Right, so yeah, as you can see, we'll go to Language Studio directly. Yeah, so these are some of the use cases of Azure AI Language Studio. So like analyzing customer sentiment, you can uh, ask them for reviews and analyze, whether it's a positive or negative review and make this business decisions based on that. And also like process like unstructured medical data. So most cases, medical data is in like unstructured formats, clinical documentation, diagnosis and symptoms and all that, are recorded in unstructured format. So you can use this feature to process them and convert into a structured format that you can use it to analyze. And also like build conversational AI features and respond to custom queries. So this is the AI language studio. So I'll be going a bit in depth with it later. Um, so yeah, so you have extract information. You have can extract key phrases from a text and find linked entities. So, for example, if you have a couple of documents, you can find whether they are linked or disambiguate the identity of an entity found in text. And then you can extract name entities or locate also people names of people, locations, or objects from a given like large amount of text data. So so then you have text extracting text health information, and you can customize your that models to match your named entity recognition features, and custom text analytics for health. Yeah, so then you have classic text classification features like analyzing sentiment, detection of language of a certain text, and also you can customize text classification features of it for your use case, and customize sentiment analysis for your use cases as well. And then you have content conversational AI aspect of it. You can create chatbots, Q&A, mostly Q&A kind of applications for your Q&A kind of features for your application. And yeah, conversational language understanding and orchestrate workflows and all that. Yeah, and also like summarization. Right. Yeah. So yeah, so these are some of the language service features in Azure Cognitive Services. Right. Then you have one of the very popular services nowadays, which is popular Azure AI services nowadays, which is Azure OpenAI Service. So as you might know already, OpenAI are the creators of ChatGPT, and so ChatGPT is what sparked or revolutionized the generative AI revolution. And so this is so what Azure OpenAI provides you is they have partnered up with Azure has partnered up with OpenAI, and it provides you REST API access to OpenAI's powerful large language models. So these include like GPT-4, GPT 3.5 with 16K tokens or 30K tokens. You can get those, and also embedding models like ADA. And yeah, these are available to enterprises, although you have to request them, request access, and once you get it, you can use them with Azure, with together with your Azure infrastructure. And yeah, one of the main key points is like it offers easy integration of generative AI functionalities into your applications for multiple use cases, and conversational AI, content creation, code generation. I mean, I don't have to explain about how useful ChatGPT and generative AI is to you guys. So imagine having that on your applications and getting harness the power of generative AI with a service like this. It's gonna boost your productivity of your applications and your daily lives. And this OpenAI service and OpenAI models can be integrated with other applied AI and cognitive services in the Azure AI stack as well, which is as you might have seen in those Vision and Language Studios. And one of the main features why Azure OpenAI service stands out from OpenAI is it offers like very superior security capabilities, such as virtual networks and private endpoints. So Azure is well known for enterprise level security features. So that's what makes Azure OpenAI a very comprehensive tool for like harnessing the power of generative AI. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the OpenAI site, product site. As you can see, one of the key selling points for Azure in terms of Azure OpenAI is security and compliance, as I mentioned earlier. So Microsoft is really committed to cybersecurity. It invests like 20 billion in that, and has a lot of focus towards data security. As you can, if you joined the last yesterday's session, you would understand how important data security is. So like security and data compliance is. So that is something a lot of services and products and services focus on, and that is what Azure addresses with Azure OpenAI, with their enterprise level um, security features. Right. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demo on Azure Language Studio. So like go through features from the UI and give you a bit of a understanding of how this works. So first of all, we can go to the Azure portal from here. So if you're a SLIIT student, you should be able to get student access. I think you have $100, so you can play around and understand how these technologies work in Azure portal. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to create a resource group. So you can create one of these from here, and can like this, and create a right. So you can go to the resource group, and then you can create a language service. You can search from here as well. As you can see, you have language feature. Then you can create a new resource, and you can. So these are the default features that it comes with. I'm going to go with default for now, and I can select the resource group that you created. Um, You give it a name. Let's see, hopefully we can create one. Right, so it's deploying. So in a while, we should be able to access the resource. So in the meanwhile, while it's being recorded, so like deployed, I have different resource created earlier. So I'll use that. You create the resource and you can access the language studio from here, and you uh, get with your resource. And yeah, so we'll go to some of the features and go through it and with some demo text. So we can have the linked entities here. So we can upload a random text. So have text file here. For example, something like this. So this is like a some text from a chapter from our natural language processing. So you can upload this, and if I run this, if everything goes fine, we should be able to get some linked entities for this particular text from web scraping. So we have some Wikipedia um, uh, sources here, and you can access this, and you can get in JSON format as well if you want to integrate this into your applications, or into your code. And yeah, so this is how it breaks down text and links it with certain entities, and you can have other things as well. So extract name entities. So we'll try with the same one and see. Um, See what happens. Everything goes right. Yeah. So as you can see, we have named entities divided. So we have names, each persons mentioned in the document, um, categorized into these categories and skills. You can see natural language processing, artificial intelligence, interpretation, and those kind of things are categorized as well, right? And yeah, as you can so for you can customize this into like how to customize this according to your use cases. So I just used a random text file, but based on your use case, you can customize this to get the full use of it, right? Okay, so and we have text classification features as well. So we'll try it with our the earlier text as well. We'll try with this one. Let's see what this is. Yeah, so yeah, this is like a dialogue conversation from Harry Potter movie. So I just found it on Kaggle and I got it there. So you might be familiar with the dialogues from here. So we can run it and see what sentiments that we get from these ones. So yeah. So as you can see, so first of all, we get the overall sentiment of the document. So it's 40% positive, 24% neutral, and 36% negative. So and then it breaks down so each sentence into and gives you a sentiment value for each sentence. As you can see, so these are neutral. Yeah, this is also neutral. So this is like you can see based on this, you can see it's identified as negative. Um, Yeah, neutral. Okay, right. So yeah, so I can say the worst sort of mug was imaginable, so it's identified as negative, and I'm searching for a positive one. Can see is kind of positive. Okay, anyways, okay. Um, um, okay, well, so you get the idea. So basically, you can convert get a like so for example, if you have a conversation, a telephone conversation generated by your service or product, then you can integrate this through through the service and analyze whether it's a positive feedback or negative feedback and make business decisions accordingly. And then you have detect language feature. And so yeah, so what you can do is detect about I think 100 or so languages. So let's see and upload and see a random language, and see whether we can whether it can detect. So right. Um, all right. Okay. So I have this language here. So so anybody in the meeting know what this language is? Anybody in there? Uh, okay. Seems like nobody does. Right. So this is a language called Hebrew. This is like a very archaic language, like almost 3,000 years old. So it's currently mainly used in Israel. So let's see whether it's able to identify this language. Um, yeah. So as you can see, it's able to understand the language as Hebrew. Um, yeah. Right. So these are some of the features of Language Studio. So I just wanted to show you, but since the time constraint, I'm not going into a feature and every feature. And also, one of the main things you have to understand is this is uh, can be called through APIs, REST APIs. So this is where development you can come integrate into your applications. Um, so this, as you can see, you can have support for various languages, codes for C Sharp, Python, Java, JavaScript, and you can easily call them without any uh, um, a very huge expertise on the field. Right. Right. Okay. Moving on. So we then move to Azure's applied AI services. So these are a bunch of services which are, as I mentioned earlier, it's for very, specific use cases. Um, uh, for example, so these are, very, specific business use cases. And, first we have the Azure bot service. So these, as the name suggests, it's to build intelligent chatbots, and it provides there's something called bot framework. You can easily integrate these development environments for building AI chatbots. It doesn't have to be chatbot, can be like an e-commerce bot, all kinds of bots you can build with this. And then you have cognitive search, which brings AI powered search into your applications. So usually when we search in search engines, it's keyword search, but with cognitive search, you have semantic search with vectors and vector search, which can easily query unstructured data as well, which is pretty interesting. And then you have Azure Document Intelligence. This was earlier called Azure Form Recognizer, and yeah, so this feature, what it does is it's so imagine there is like some kind of registration form, like physical registration form, or even let's say yeah, physical registration form. So if you want to extract like if there's 1,000 students in a university and you have to extract each physical record form, it's gonna be really tiring task. So what something like Azure Document Intelligence allows you to do is automate the process of extracting features and mapping them into structured data formats, so you can feed them into other specific tasks as registration processes and all other processes. So that is where Azure Document Intelligence comes in handy. And then you have video indexer. So this is a feature like that is there to extract insights from videos. It provides you like content moderation for the videos that you have, and then it adds search capabilities to videos. So it understands, if you have multiple videos, it can detect the features in insights in the videos, and you can search videos based on the content or images in the videos, which is really cool. And then you can add recommendation tags into embed recommendation tags into videos as well. So if you're uploading somewhere, so based on the content of the video and the user, you can it can be automatically recommended. And also it can index like spoken words in the video, so you can easily search, which is really good. And then you have Azure Matrix Advisor. So this is basically quite similar to anomaly detector. So, but it provides much more of capabilities in terms of monitoring and analyzing time series data. So it can analyze, multi-dimensional data and can be integrated with multiple data sources. So, and it can identify and correlate anomalies as well. And one of the key features is that you can really customize it based on and fine tuning your models based on your data, and also diagnose anomalies and help with root cause analysis, identify what caused it anomalies. And basically this can be integrated into machine learning operation features to track logs of your models and all that, and maintenance and monitoring application features. Right. And finally, you have the Azure Applied AI Services, which is for to isolate content. So this is a feature for um, um, individuals who are challenged, have reading and speaking and language challenges. So, for example, dyslexic people. So what this immersive reader is able to do is they can um, improve proven techniques to improve like reading comprehension, like for emerging readers, language learners, and people with learning differences. For example, you can isolate content for improved readability. So you can isolate each and every word, and it can display pictures for common words. So if you click on it, so you can, with this feature, you can click on a certain common word and it brings you a picture, so you can easily identify. And also highlight parts of speech to and also read content aloud, read speech content aloud, so you can easily identify. And then also translate content in real time. So if you are not a native speaker of English, you can use this feature to translate. And yeah, so it doesn't so it basically improves it's basically the concept of AI for inclusiveness. Right. And finally, these are some of the things that you should consider when using Azure AI services. So one of the main things is privacy and compliance. It's really important to understand, and comply with data privacy and regulations. So if you're building an application or like a soft as a service product, you should really know that privacy and data security is one of the and compliance is one of the biggest concerns for services. And securing data of customers is something really important. And and you have to make sure that Azure AI services compliance standards match with your organization, and the data you use are secure, and how they are used in your Azure services. And and then you have data quality and preparation. So this is if you're a data science student, if you're a data scientist, if you work with data science, you know how important clean data is for building models or building AI or machine learning or data science applications. So this is something you should consider. So before you put in data into your Azure AI, make sure that the data is into some level of quality, so that will increase your accuracies and um, uh, improve the overall performance of your applications. And then you have scalability and performance. So you have one thing you will need to consider is the scalability and performance requirements of your AI workloads. It requires if the throughput and all that. So Azure offers a lot of scalable solutions. Azure machine learning, Azure Databricks to handle large scale AI products. So keep that in mind as well when you're considering using Azure AI. And then and then you have one of the very important features, cost management. So so cloud services comes at a cost. So AI services, pre-built services comes at a cost. So it's really important that you keep an eye on the cost of Azure AI services and monitor resource consumption and consider using, there's feature called Azure cost management and building tools to control and optimize the costs for your use cases. And yeah, so then you have customization and pre-built model. So as I've mentioned, as I've shown you earlier, there is the option of using pre-built AI service models. So you can customize your models based on your data. So you should really consider whether to use those pre-built models or consider customization and customizing on your own data. So that's something you should consider before going into and purchasing AI services. And then you have deployment and monitoring. So deployment of ML and AI services is something really important, something really crucial. And you should really plan ahead for model deployment and monitoring. So Azure itself provides a lot of tools for deployment, such as Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS, and Azure Monitor to monitor and deploy and monitor product models in production. So yeah, these so it's important to keep track of these. So these are some of the features or things to consider. So there are other features you might need to consider as well. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're going into Azure AI and considering moving to Azure AI. Right. Yeah. So that's it for my session. So I gave you a a brief understanding or brief walkthrough of some of the AI services out there using for in Azure AI services. So as you probably saw, the possibilities are endless. So they can if it fits for every single use case you can imaginable. So it's important that you leverage these features to in building your applications um, and getting the best out of AI, best out of machine learning and AI. Yeah, I hope everyone here learned something new. And yeah, thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach me. There's my email mentioned, or you can drop me a LinkedIn message as well, so we can talk. And if you have any questions, we can resolve. Yeah, and also yeah. Thank you very much.